Thanks and welcome to the 6:50 News with me, Kejang Henry Atimbe. Let's begin with the top stories. Cameroon versus Namibia. The indomitable lions of Cameroon are set for a showdown against Namibia this evening in Yaoundé at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. And with a comfortable 3 points at the top, the Lions are hoping for a victory to have a ticket for the Côte d'Ivoire 2024. And of course, national plan or strategic plan to eliminate tuberculosis in the country is underway. The plan will run from 2024 to 2026, according to reports from the Public Health Ministry. Those were our top stories. Welcome to join me. Today marks the 38th anniversary of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM. And across the country, the CPDM is celebrating what they say is a victory and that of stability in the country. Launched in 1985 in Bamenda, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement was born from the ashes of the Cameroon or the CNU party. And from the CNU to the CPDM, and today, 38 years after, the CPDM says it has come to maturity. And activities across the country is to consolidate what the CPDM says it is a victory for them throughout their stewardship of their leader, Paul Biya. We'll be coming up with updates of that celebration. And the Customs Department in Kaundouri has been lauded on its fight against illicit goods across the borders. Ambogladi says recently the Customs Department has been able to raise quite some substantial amount despite the aggressive fight against the illicit importation of goods. Ambogladi.
We do the prise en charge. What's your post today? What's your chef de brigade, commissaire?
Porter les recettes annuelles de 14 millions en 2020.
An in-depth discussion between the Director General of Customs and his collaborators in the Adamawa region of Cameroon as he visits the region to get abreast with the realities afield. Mechanisms the custom officials put in place to fight against smuggling, prevent the illegal exploitation of diesel to neighboring Nigeria, and the facilitation of movements of goods in transit to Chad were the main issues of concern.
They've been doing well in terms of seizures of goods, illicit goods. They've been doing very well. They have also been facilitating transit. You know, this is like the Carrefour goods going to Chad and leaving Chad, you know, to Douala and Kribi. And they are all to facilitate all of that traffic. And they've been doing a good job. So we've been having meetings with all the actors, all the key players, and they are all unanimous. It's true there are still areas that have to be improved upon, and that's exactly what we're working on.
It was an opportunity for custom brokers to raise worries, especially with the recent creation of a one-stop shop in Kaundouri.
Nous avons essayé de toucher sur beaucoup d'aspects.
Our preoccupation during discussions centered on delays in the construction of the dry port. Secondly, we raised the problem of the importation of vehicles from Chad. It's been 1 week that the one-stop shop has been operating its activities here in Kaundouri, and we are still confused if we have to pass through that office for the evaluation of the imported vehicles. With all the other concerns that we raised during the visit of the Director General of Customs, Edwin Fongo-Novaga promised to look into them and seek possible solutions.
Well, thanks very much, Ambo Gladys. The national plan for the progressive elimination of tuberculosis in Cameroon has been validated by the national program, the fight against tuberculosis. The plan will run from 2024 to 2026, according to Public Health Ministry. And by 2035, this plan is expected to have eradicated tuberculosis in the country. Beatrice Ngamo reports.
The National Program for the Fight Against Tuberculosis in 2022 notified 25,286 cases of all forms of tuberculosis, with 5.3% of cases in children and 272 multi-resistant cases. Some 545 TB cases were detected and treated in prisons, while tuberculosis HIV co-infection had dropped compared to 2021. Despite the numerous initiatives, encouraging results that has led to the reduction considerably of the impact of the illness on the population, Cameroon still remain in a worrying situation by certain aspects.
Despite the challenges caused by the effectiveness of the response to this pandemic throughout the world has allowed us to devote ourselves much more to the fight against the 3 priority programs, including tuberculosis. It's now more than ever time to continue to work together in the response to communicable diseases.
Cameroon today takes engagement like the rest of the world this March 24, 2023, under the theme, Yes, We Can, a reminder of concerted efforts to reinforce the fight against tuberculosis.
Le programme national
The National Program for the Fight Against Tuberculosis recently validated the national strategy to run from the period 2024 to 2026, which proposes new interventions which will permit us to move towards the progressive elimination of the illness.
Progressive de cette maladie.
The need to work hard to attain the set objective, putting an end to tuberculosis by 2035 by treating the cases and accelerating the reduction of new infection through the intensification of preventive treatment and improvements of quality of treatment and care.
And over 100 gynecologists from Africa are updating skills in gynecological endoscopic surgery. They are meeting for 10 days at the Yaoundé Fertility Hospital, Krashera. Of course, this initiative is how to meet up with the challenges of gynecological and endoscopic surgery. Beatrice Ngamo once more.
Some 100 African medical practitioners are tapping from the expertise of renowned surgeons in endoscopic surgery at the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital, Cliquez. The 10-day training, the 3rd edition of the International University Diploma in Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery, started with lectures and is now in the practical phase.
And today is our first day in theater, so we have been observing. We got a chance to learn how to organize the instrument, how to do the hysteroscopy, and it was perfectly done.
Hysteroscopy is a procedure that allows the surgeon to look inside the uterus.
While trying to get him, what do we take?
We suppose that there was a myomectomy where there were threads passing through the cavity, and so
it is still Gamu.
Adhesions. Professor Nzao took the adhesions away, so we think that the patient will have some menstruation again.
Often used to remove polyps, fibroids, and adhesions.
Is it
on the laparoscopy side, it's a patient that had an infection with chlamydia, and so she had a lot of adhesions. But that Professor Cassia is operating on her now, so we are quite confident that that patient will be able to conceive and then deliver later on.
New modern medical skills needed to meet challenges in their respective countries.
And when we go home, I think we can do by ourselves the procedures we've been learned here.
Training to master surgical techniques during minimal invasive surgery as well as live surgery. Jointly organized by the Ministry of Higher Education, the International Society for Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery, and the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital, Cliquez. The course will end on March 30.
Against the absence of weather forecast culture in the country. In fact, this comes at the backdrop of the celebrations marking World Meteorology Day. And as the world celebrates this day, so too are farmers confused on whether or not they have to go in for the farming season as the climates are completely changing. Maureen D reports.
Observing, forecasting and communicating are some of the major roles of meteorologists. Unfortunately, in Cameroon, very few Cameroonians exploit the services of meteorologists for their daily activities. Meteorologists are disturbed by this lack of culture on the part of the population. Birds say they are conscious of the lapses in terms of communicating weather forecasts and orders.
Impression is also false because as of present, the daily numerical weather bulletin is being forecasted. The validity is for 24 hours. That means it tells on how the weather will look like. For now, the National Directorate of Meteorology is working with community radios so they can be able to publish it in their local language. That will help. When we talk of agriculture, you know, most of the rural people depend on that.
Another point of interest has to do with their areas of intervention in Cameroon.
We have the aviation sector, traveling, transport as a whole, whether air, ship or on land. We have our daily activities because there are bulletins, numerical weather forecast bulletins that are being done for the daily activities.
Weather forecast remains a complex and often challenging skill that involves observing and processing vast amounts of data. According to weather experts, data is difficult to trace in Cameroon.
And Cameroon and the United States of America are continuously sharpening their skills on the fight against human rights or the non-respect of human rights. U.S. Ambassador.
And specifically the context of the release of the U.S. State Department report on human rights practices around the world to be published on Monday, March 28.
The President and I had the opportunity to go over a number of specific areas in that report and talk through where the United States and Cameroon, and particularly the Human Rights Commission, may be able to work to help move the human rights situation in Cameroon forward.
Issues on American-based Cameroonians financing and instigating violence back home equally constituted the package of their discussions this Friday, March 24th in Yaoundé.
Most recently, at the end of November, 3 American citizens of Cameroonian origin were arrested for financing activities contrary to U.S. law that ended up in violence here in Cameroon.
The diplomat also revealed that Cameroon and the U.S. government, alongside the civil society, continue to seek measures of ameliorating the respect of human rights in Cameroon.
Thanks so much, Hyacinth. And in under 3 years from now, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon will take on the Warriors of Namibia for the game to pick up a qualification ticket for the African Cup of Nations 2023. In Côte d'Ivoire. And the Lions, from every indication, are ready for the game. And as you can get from those pictures, fans from both sides are already taking their seats at the arena to cheer their teams for victory. We will be coming back with details as they unfold. But unfortunately, Hyacinth, we're expecting to get Hyacinth from Yaoundé, but from every indication, well, Hyacinth is still to hook up with us from the Madu Aijo Stadium. And it's 3 years since Makossa mogul Manu Dibango, Soul Makossa mogul Manu Dibango, left the scene after battling with an illness that is COVID-19. Cameroonians are today remembering Manu Dibango, the giant of Africa, and of course the world-class artist. Manu Dibango is being celebrated in some areas across the world and of course in some of the towns in Cameroon. And that brings us to the end of the 6 Field News. I've been Keja Henry Athemi. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful weekend. Coming up is The Brief.